Hello and welcome, dear viewers. This is Muhammad Abdullah coming to you from the Brwon News. Starting with the headlines, Juba's freedom prayed to open next month. Israel delegation security met Sudanese military officials in Khartoum. Acting foreign ministers receives ambassador of Russia. Israel delegation security met Sudanese military officials in Khartoum. And Israel delegations of security officials met with the Sudanese military officials during a secret visit to Khartoum earlier this week. Public broadcaster Khan reported Friday, citing Sudanese sources. There were no further details given. Israel delegations have reportedly visited the North African country several times since Sudan's top general Abdel Fattah al-Burhan seized power in Juba last October. In February, reports indicate the top Sudanese officials secretly visit Israel in order to advance relations between the countries. The report did not identify the representative or provide further details about the visit. In an interview with Al Arabiya, a network published in December, al-Burhan said the normalization with Israel was necessary to return Sudan was the military, not the civilian leadership in Sudan that has played more active role in advancing normalization with Israel. Al-Burhan had been prominent player leading normalization's effort with Israel. UN partners seeks 1.7 billion as humanitarian needs soar in South Sudan. The UN and partners on Thursday launched 1.7 billion humanitarian response plan (HRP) for South Sudan to meet the needs of some 6.8 million vulnerable people in this year. The cumulative and compounding effects of years of climate-related shocks such as flooding and drought conflicts and subnational violence have destroyed people's homes and livelihoods, robbing them of the future they deserve, said Sarah, UN humanitarian coordinator for South Sudan. Despite these challenges, affected communities have continued to demonstrate a great sense of resilience, solidarity, and creativity, she added. This year, some 8.9 million people in South Sudan are estimated to need humanitarian assistance. The HRP will target 6.8 million of the most vulnerable in the country, while over 2 million people are displaced, many of them for years. UAE airlift 30 tons of food aid to Ethiopia Tigray region. The UAE has sent a plane carrying 30 tons of food items to Meleke in Ethiopia Tigray region as a part of its direct relief airlifts to meet the growing needs of the population. The assistance including sending 13 relief, medical, and food and planes, including 7 planes to the Tigray region, carrying 220 tons. Mohammed Salim Al-Rushdi, UAE ambassador to Ethiopia, said the aid comes within the framework of UAE's efforts to provide all support to countries in need, especially to support women and children to assist them in overcoming dire conditions. Nothing that the UAE has provided 85% million to support relief operations in Ethiopia in cooperation with international organizations. The UAE has sent 500 tons of urgent food and medical aid to Addis Ababa from the beginning of this year until March 2022. Juba's freedom prayed to open next month's minister. South Sudan's only most independent Juba Freedom Bridge, which is being funded by Japanese government, is ready to open next month, according to the South Sudan's Ministry of Road and Bridge Simon Mijok. The constructions of the bridge began in 2003 but installed immediately following the outbreak war in the capital Juba that forced most foreign workers to flee the world's youngest nation. Last year, the Japanese ambassador to South Sudan said the bridge was set to reopen in 2022. The bridge opening is transport system in the country's capital as Juba Old Bridge has been becoming weaker and weaker. Speaking to reporters during an inspections visit on Friday, Mijok said President Salva Kiir Mayardit will inaugurate the bridge next month, thanking the Japanese government for helping South Sudan building the country's largest bridge. He further said that this bridge is a grant, and to go ahead with the construction of more bridge, the government of South Sudan is open to investment in mega bridges. Sudan's military leader Brwon threatened to expel UN representative. Sudan's military leader, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, had threatened to expel the United Nations and its special representative, accusing him of overstepping his mandate. We heard his slander the other day, blatantly lying, Burhan said in a speech at military graduation on Friday. If you overstep your mandate, we will put you out of Sudan. The comments come days after UN Representative Volker Perthes gave an update to the Security Council on effort in Sudan, where he commented on the country's economic turmoil, violence against protesters, and priorities for transitions to elections. Perthes' mission has involved holding a series of consultations along with African Union aiming at coming to political solutions following military takeover in October, which ended a power-sharing arrangement with the civilian parties. Acting Foreign Minister received Ambassador of Russia. The Foreign Affairs Minister Ambassador Ali As-Sadiq received in his office on Saturday the Ambassador of Russia to Sudan, Vladimir Ziltov, and discussed a progress of bilateral relations. The two sides agree of strengthening the cooperation between the two countries in all fields for interest of the two countries. The Russian ambassador that the Russian-Sudanese relations are witness steady rapprochement, praising the positions of Sudan and Arab League in support of Moscow in the face of Western targeting. He reiterated the call of giving priority to the language diplomatic dialogue over things else to achieve a solution to the crisis. Jean Jabir returns home after officials' visits to Rwanda and Zimbabwe. Transitional Sovereignty Council member Jean Ibrahim Jabir returned home after officials' visits to republics of Rwanda and Zimbabwe, during which he was accompanied by the Director of African Union Department and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Al-Zain Ibrahim. He was received at Khartoum Airport by Secretary General of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, General Muhammad Al-Ghali Ali Yusuf. During the visit, which lasted for several days, General Jabir met with the Rwandan President Paul Kagame, Zimbabwe Presidents Emerson and Mnangagwa, and handed them two written letters from the presidents of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, dealing with the progress of the relations between Khartoum and Kigali and Harare, and ways to strengthen them further beside issues of common concern. Thank you very much. This is Muhammad with you today. This is the end of our news. For more news, you can follow us on the website www.brwon.com.